Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the new video, the one that we talked about a lot in the last few months. The best Instagram tool, the best Instagram Grow tool for 2024. Now, I know that you've been waiting for this for a long time. And to be honest with you, today is not the best day to create this video. I don't know if you can see that, but my eyes actually are not on the same size. Yeah, can you see that? It looks like someone punched my right eye, and this is it didn't happen yet, but I don't know what's going on with this eye. So I can see, I can speak, I can hear, but it's we have this small problem over here. So I hope it will be okay. I just don't want to wait for with this video so long because I know that many of you are still looking for the best solution and the alternative for the current tools you have at the moment. So yeah, let's go into that, and I will share with you the tool that I found as the best and for main accounts growth. Okay, I don't speak about child accounts or a mass DM or all of the other methods that some of you knows. I speak about your main Instagram account, or let's say my personal account, you know. So this is what I speak about, just to make sure we are on the same page. Yes, so before we start, if some of you, I don't know, click on this video and you don't know who is this girl with the one eye, so my name is Adi. I'm a growth hacker. I'm doing this automation stuff and data project and all of this kind of stuff for the last, I think 6, even almost 7 years. I work with the biggest tools in the market. I collab with many of them, so maybe some of them you know when you saw some of my stuff. And yes, my goal basically is to bring you the best insights about what's good to use, what's not so good to use, what are the alternative pricing to give you good offers as well. I'm not a developer, I'm not something like that, I don't know code. I just know how to use this type of tools. I have inside access to many of the tools, and I know a lot about Instagram and about their API. So this is about me. Yeah, and let's get the party started. So I'm a big fan of results and numbers. Okay. This is like my style. I don't like just like to speak and like, yeah, we will do that and we do that. This is what I like about automation and about growing, that you can actually measure and you can really see what's the impact of your actions. And numbers don't lie, yeah? People do lie sometimes. So this is, for example, some of the results of the tool that I'm using now, Insta Grow. I will show you, of course, how it's all working. And I share these results and not other accounts I have which have much higher results, especially because of this reason, because I want to explain to you how it all works and what you should expect, okay? Because the days we could do like so many actions in the stories or in other tools are pretty much gone. You cannot do anymore like hundreds of thousands or even thousands of story interactions as we used to do. Why? Because Instagram limited that. This is life, this is how it works. Don't get upset, don't get like, oh, they are like blah blah blah. No, this is how this industry works for years. So you can see some days we get like 10 15 followers a day, and if you have account in like high follow back ratio, you can even get like 20 30 plus followers a day. This is what you can expect. Of course, it's all about your content, your industry, your follow back ratio, your targets, and so on, but this is what you can expect. So I hope it makes sense for you. And many of you ask me like, why you're not using anymore this tool or these specific tools. We talked about like social and Jarvie and IAM and sharing tools and export and all of this stuff. So I'm focusing on main accounts on this specific tool because the tools I used to work with on the past didn't provide me the results and the scalability and the safetyness that I'm looking for. Okay, it doesn't mean that these all of tools are like shitty or they're like bad or many stuff that I heard. It just like for me, it didn't work well anymore. So this is why I won't recommend about something that doesn't give me any value. I'm really straightforward about that. But if you're using any other tool, no matter what, it can be private tool, I am sharing next post Vanzala that I'm now also testing, and it's working well for you, do not change that. All good. You can always learn new stuff. You can always add more tools to your basket. No need just to say like, that's it, okay? So this is about the tool that I'm going to speak now, today. And yes, I will show you also about the tool's owner and about the people behind that. Because let's be honest, it's all about the people, right? Like people actually who are the ones who created these tools and who are the ones who can manage these tools, give us updates, and provide us like the best we need. So it's actually the owner of this school called Cohen. Maybe this name sounds familiar. And I'm going to show you about like his farm. He has like a real phone automation farm in Israel, and a bit about him so you can understand who you're going to do business with or who are you thinking to do business with. So Cohen is like a developer, and he actually developed his own phone farm back in 2017. Okay, so this is not like a reselling, someone who like take something from here, and reselling it, which is also very good. I'm not saying something bad. Just here you're working with the core, okay, with the main developer who actually build this tool. This is very, very important. I will get back to this point in one of the other slides over here. So he used to work with Jarvi. I know him like for many, many, many years, this guy, long time, but I don't know if you know Jarvi, but Jarvi had some issues in the past, and Meta didn't like some of the activities over there, so they kind of like shut down and things didn't went well over there. And then he developed his own private farm. Now he developed the code, he's buying the phone, he's running the account, he's doing basically everything, all of the tech part in one-stop shop, which is super good, okay? His farm is very stable, and until a few months ago it was private. That means he didn't actually get new clients, he just worked with a few agencies, about 1,200 accounts for TikTok and for Instagram, and that's it. Okay, so this is very good also not to work with someone who has, I don't know, thousands and hundreds of thousands of accounts, because then, like you're using his code, but many, many other people are using his code. So here it's, until now, I don't know after this video, but still very small, so it's pretty good. I'm working with this farm for almost 2 months. I can say that no issues, no bans, no blocks. Of course, for example, on my account, I did have some issues because my account, if you watch some of my other stuff, I did so many testing about this account. I shut it down. Instagram banned this account for over 10 times, and every time I managed to get it back. So my account trust score is pretty low, but in general, it doesn't have issues at all. And he's doing all of the tech part. That means to make sure the account is running on the phone, to connect the account to the phone, to make sure every day it's working well, and stuff like that. So this is very, very, very important, because with other tools that I used to work with, I had so many tech issues. And the account disconnected, or I don't know, something with a proxy, or there are no actions, I didn't know what happened, and everything was tech problem. And us, as an agency owners, we want to focus on the results, we want to focus on the targets, we want to make sure that everything is going well, we can communicate with the client and provide the best result. Okay, so this is why I like this kind of approach, where I actually have no worries at all about all of the tech part. Now, I'm sure some of you have their own phone farms with any other tools or code. This is good, working well for you, that's awesome. I'm not a person of my own phone farm here in Bali. I don't want to manage my own phone farm, not my cup of tea. I prefer someone else will do all of that, and I will do what I'm actually good with, which is to add accounts, get more clients, provide them results, communicate with them, stuff like that. In addition to that, you will see if you will start working with him, you will get into his like personality. Okay, he's not like someone who just wants your money, or someone who will just like play with you and like charge you, I don't know. He's a really good guy. So I like people like that. I'm a person of people. I like people who are very straightforward, not playing with me, not telling me like, yeah, you will get this type of results, everything is perfect. No, also over here, could be we'll face some issues, could be we'll face some problems. That's okay. It's part of the risk. I am not saying that there is no risk or like 100% risk free. It's still automation. You still have to take this risk. If you don't want to take any risk, you don't want any chance that account will get blocked, banned, disabled, anything, like want 100% risk free. So do not use any automation tool. That's my tip for you. But if you're willing to take this risk and understand this is very, very, very uncommon to happen when you're using the right tools with the right people and the right settings and the right approach, so you're good to go. Yeah, so this is just a few photos about how it looks like. You can see many phones, of course, Android. There are many reasons why to use the Android ones, especially because they have like less limits than iPhone phones and Apple. And yes, let's speak now about the numbers and about what you can expect. So limits on his, in his bot. Follow maximum 50 and follow daily, yeah? Maximum 50 follow, 50 unfollow. Okay, now keep in mind in the last week and a half, Instagram made a lot of updates and even add more restrictions for the follow and for the unfollow. Okay, they really put both of these actions on like higher interest. I don't know why, but this is what they're doing. So could be, I don't know when you will watch this video. Today it's the 16th of June 2024. This is the limits. Okay, you can do a bit more here, a bit more there. It's not like 50-0, like, exactly. It can be 54, it can be 60, it can be 40, it can be 20. But mostly now we're focusing on the post like and the story likes. Okay, so with the post likes we can do maximum 500. It's mostly around 250. It depends about the sources. I will explain a bit more about it. And story views likes maximum 500. Okay, usually it's around 300. So this is how it looks like. You can see the date over here on the top. Here you can see the total amount of followers, total amount of followings based on date. And then you can see the type of actions we did. So follow 20, unfollow 37, post likes 253, story likes 83. Okay, this is just an example of one of the accounts. Here, for example, on the 11, we did like 465 and 128 like stories. Now, why is this big difference? You see, like this is over here 253. Here it's 465. Here it's 516. So why is this big difference and the gap? So the reason for that is that this tool is very, very smart, and it actually can understand when we are doing too many actions and then lower a bit the amount of actions. It's also adding the randomization. This is like very important human factor. So we don't want to do every day the same amount of actions. Okay, it looks very repetitive, very easy to detect that something is wrong because real people are not doing every day 500 story likes. It doesn't work like that. They're doing 500, they're doing 200, they're doing 100, they're doing like 300, like, you know what I mean? So this is very, very important. So this is a very smart tool. Even if you have more restrictions on the follow and the unfollow, it will make more story likes and post likes, which is super. Okay, so this is about the numbers and about the daily amount of actions, which you can see very stable, like no problem at all. I'm not adding the proxies. I will also get into this point in the one of the other slides, but very, very stable, no issues, very fun. Now, how is everything set up, pricing, and this part? So and wait, maybe I didn't explain it good enough, because I know some people are watching my videos are on different levels. I can see from the DMs I'm getting on Telegram. So Sion's Cohen's, he offers phone farm, okay, just to make sure you're with me, and he's managed the tech part. So you just manage, like, you have a dashboard, you have a link, I will share it now, and he's doing everything for you. You don't need to buy phones, you don't need to buy, I don't know, any kind of like USB stuff. You don't need to do like anything of the tech part. Just you need like to pay him, and you basically rent from him spots on his phone farm. I hope it makes sense. If not, let me know in the comments. Okay, so how is everything set up? First, you need to fill out the following form to get in touch with him and his team. I will add a link to the form on the description, so you will get, and you will have like a few questions just to answer, and then they will communicate with you. And then basically they have like a form like that where you need to add the accounts. I will show it to you very quickly, but maybe, I don't know, it depends how many accounts you have and stuff like that. So you just like need to add like your details over here. You can choose if you want Instagram or TikTok, which is nice. Tell briefly about the profile, of course, the client we speak about, gender, all type, and of course add targets, which is very important. Now about the targets, I want to let you know that he's actually scraping the last 100 followers with stories. So that means for the stories actions, you need to add at least 100 targets. Okay, you need a lot of targets for the stories, especially if you're like in a small country in Europe or Israel or no matter where. If you're in the States, it's easier to add more targets. But yeah, this is very important. Then basically we'll get an access to your dashboard. Of course, after you speak with him and his team and all of that, you will have like a dashboard like this. Whoops, with all of the amount of the accounts you have. Okay, and I will show you how it's working from the inside. So here on the account, you can see all of the accounts you have. You have like mood. You have specific mode of the account. Let me explain to you what this means. The mood. So active, it means that it's working, and it's like in a warm-up period. You know, like warm-up of like doing small amount of actions, scrolling on the browser, stuff like that. Turbo, it's working very fast. Unfollow, it's only unfollow actions. Initial is that means that it's like logged in and only doing like scrolling and stuff like that. It doesn't do like interactions actions. Stop, blocked. Okay, you can see how many accounts you have, active accounts in specific account you have. Interactions, not sure about that. Cooldown, also not sure, but I'm guessing not really need all of that. Here you have the global configuration, no need to touch on that. Here you have the statistics errors, so you can actually see if you're getting any block or any stuff like that. As you can see, my account over here got actually we limit because my account did a lot of bad stuff, I agree. And this account over here actually got like an action block, okay, which is okay because it's also like very problematic account with a lot of logins, and it's okay, it can happen, but nothing too bad. Cool, so now let's go, for example, to my account. Let me show you how it looks like. So here I can add a tag to the account if I want, like on other tools. I can see what is the status, so it's valid. I can see that I'm doing follow actions, 6 follow actions, but I will do maximum 20. Unfollow I didn't do today, but I will do maximum 58. Post likes I'm doing about 22, I will do maximum 353. Story interactions, I did 70, but I will do maximum 485. Okay, let's go a bit. Comment, I'm also doing comments, but let me, I don't want to do comments. To be honest, I think it's not the best. You can do that, but I don't know, I feel it's a bit spammy. Create the date, so when it's actually added to the dashboard, the last date it's update. So today, the mood is turbo and my proxy. Okay, so pretty easy. You can see the dashboard over here. You have the information that you need, like from the top. Now let's get into the settings part. Okay, so you can see my account, the passport, the mood. So I'm on turbo mood. Like it's very fast. I'm mostly changing the mood after 1 week after I add the account. I can add the gender. Gender is for my account, but you don't need to really set it up, only if you want. Speed, no need to touch on that, it's okay. Also over here, no need to touch on these settings. It's all good, let it be. Specific days, of course, if you want to turn off on specific days that you don't want the account to perform actions, so you can play with that. I do want it all the day. And the specific tools enabled, so I'm doing all of the tools, likes, follows, unfollow, like, post, like, story, watch story, just on the comments, okay? You can play with that if you want, but I think it's all good. Whitelist, so it's, what does it mean? Whitelist, like if you have any specific users that you don't want to engage with, or you just want like to keep them on the whitelist, some of your followings and stuff like that, although it won't do unfollow to people who are not coming from the bot, okay? I know it's a very important question. So if it's someone that you followed outside the tool, it won't unfollow you. But if you want to have like some users that you will never, I don't know, play with them, you can edit over here, notes, two-factor codes, okay, for the two-factor inputs, no need to touch on that. Then you can add a proxy as well, if you want. sorry. See, he can explain to you, Cohen can explain to you about how to add a proxy. So, for example, the phone over here are actually connected from SIM cards in Israel. Now, let's say you have a client from Germany, or from the States, or from Spain, or from I don't know where, you can, any country, and you want to add your own proxy, it's okay. You can definitely do that. Of course, you need to pay and buy your own proxy. Cohen will explain to you on which format to add the proxy over here. Now I can click on account tool. And here I can get to all of the different type of settings. So on the top I can see my name, the status of the account, how many followers I have, followings, posts, interact tools. This is like this dashboard. I will explain what I can see over here. So basically here I can set up the filters I want, okay? That means, let's say I want to interact with a specific gender, male or females, or none, okay? None, it means like everyone. So I can set it up over here. And the gender, it's based on the language. And I will explain. As you know, if I will go to Instagram, so they are not sharing with us what is the gender of any profile. So how can we know what is the gender of the profile? Based on the name, right? If the name of the profile is John, most likely is a man. Of course, it's not 100%, but most likely. So the same over here. You can also choose a language like Hebrew, English, what's that? I don't know. France, Russian, many language, Europe language in general, Asia language and stuff like that. I'm not playing with that, but if you want, feel free to play with that. Business percentage and follow private percentage, I also didn't play with that. I don't mind to do both and both. Now, if you want to, let's say, only interact with business account, you need to put it 99, and then you need to put, I don't know, like one, for example, okay? And then it will interact only with business. Or if you want the opposite, so the opposite, only private, okay? It's up to you. Private, that means like, like accounts which are not business. Wait, I put it like that. Now, if you change something, don't forget you need to scroll all the way down and click on update. Okay, if you don't click on update, it won't save you nothing. So remember this because it's not fun. Now we can do only business only. That means only business account if you want. Bad language, it means like to avoid interacting with accounts you have on their bio, on their post, like, bad words like I won't say, but any curse or like naughty stuff and stuff like that. Turbo, don't need to touch about as well because the account's always on turbo mode. Force mute. Okay, so this is and also you can add location if you want, but keep in mind it can be very limited. So not sure if it's a good idea. Force mute, that means that after every follow actions you're doing, you will mute the profile. Okay, let's do it with this guy. So let's say I follow him. No, I'm not sure if it works. So you can actually mute a profile. I'm sure you know that. Like you have the button over here of muting someone, and then you won't see his content at all. Now I'm not using this over here at all because it's very unhuman. Like why in general people will mute someone they follow? If it's not interesting you won't follow him, right? So this is the reason that I'm actually not using this tool. But I know that for some people and for some clients, it's very important not to see on their feed people coming from the bot. So if it's like that, you can use it. It's okay. I just don't do that. Maximum amount of followers and maximum amount of followings. So you can also play with that. So if you want people who have maximum, 1,000 followers and maximum 500 followings, you can play with that. Keep in mind, it's very narrow, the audience. It needs to be smaller and smaller. So I don't play with that much. And minimum amount of followers. You can also set up like at least 30, at least 100. You can play with that. Minimum following, maximum post, minimum post, and must have a profile pic. Okay? So feel free to play with these filters how you want. Keep in mind, as much as you add more filter, the scraping will take more and more time. The nice thing over here, they take care for the scraping. You don't need to scrape anything. Like the scraping, it's not from the main account, and you don't need to add any scrapers. So this is actually pretty fun. Operation and limits, don't touch. Nothing you need to touch over here is their own private setup. Sources. Okay, so you do have two options over here to add sources. One option is to add specific users. Okay, so let's say you have a list of users that you know that you want to interact with these specific users, like Mark Zuckerberg, like Adam Mosseri, like, I don't know, Beyonce. No, like, let's say you have this list, you can put all of the specific users. We need user's name. And then you can choose if you want to add it to story, only for story interaction, or for interact, that means all of the other stuff, post, likes, follow, and unfollow, or to both of them. And you can also give it a source if you want, like, to give it like list ID. So you can do it like that, and you click on add. Okay. Now this is no need to play with that. It will take it down. Let's say you don't have any specific users, but you do have followers of target accounts, following of your competitors, followers of any other accounts. You can add over here, like, all of the followers of Zach, Mosseri, all of the followers of your competitors, and then you can add it over here. And as well, you can use it for all. That means stories, interactions, and also follow and follow and post likes, or you can choose one of them. Keep in mind, for the stories, you will need a lot of targets, so feel free to add more and more and more and more. Okay, it's pretty okay. Now over here, you will see that we actually have the follow back ratio, and have a look. This is very interesting. We have follow back ratio in total, like for all of the type of actions, and we also have follow back ratio of only stories, from the story actions we're doing, and for the post likes, and also from the follow and follow. Every time I just click it, it's actually putting on the top, like, the highest account I get. So this is give me like the highest follow back ratio. I can find more accounts like that. Okay, from the stories, from the likes as well, you can see. Okay, so this is very nice to understand which sources give me the highest follow back ratio. Okay, you can also see how many actions I did in total, and then you can go here to the right, can get more about them, and then you can add more and more sources, which is pretty nice. Of course, if you want to delete something, so you can also delete it. You can just go here and delete this if it's not giving you good follow back ratio. And yes, as you can see, the follow back ratio can be very good. Of course, I need to do more actions, but yeah, it looks like a good numbers. And then of course I need to click on update follow after I did all of that. So here we speak about the interact. Now we speak about the unfollow. So no need to play with that over here. Just don't touch anything. It's all okay. And it's basically just doing unfollow for the people it's following, pretty much like that. If you don't want follow and follow, you can also just turn it off. Okay, you don't. It's not a must to do the follow and follow. If you only want so if you only want story interactions, it's all okay. Just tell it to go in. Analytics, this is super nice actually. So you can actually over here see the day one, how many new followers you gain in the last 90 days, last 30 days, 14 days, and 7 days. Okay, just forget about the low numbers over here. It's my account, which is really, really bad. But this is just like to see how you can really see the growth. Now, another thing I really like over here, it's the activity. They actually have integration to Dropbox. And if you click this link, you can actually see all of the different type of actions you did. Okay, so for example, on the 15th of June, on this hour, I did like story for this username, okay, from the followers of these sources. So you can actually have the logs over here, which is all the time keep updating, and it's very, very nice. You can see all of the actions you did. In my case, you can see I'm doing a lot of actions, but I'm not getting many followers back. That means I should optimize my sources list. Okay, so this is about this part over here. And you have also the follow back ratio over here, which you can see all of the users who actually follow you back. So let me explain. Here on column A, you can see the date and the hour. Column B, the target. Okay, so which user actually got follow me. Keyword, so we actually one of the followings of this account. So I took him from here and I interact with the story. I like the story, and this is how I got this follower. This follower I got from interacting, like I did a post like from the followers of this account. this folder, and you see, like, this is how you can actually understand everything, and you have all of the metrics, which is super cool, and I really like it, and it's part of the service. You can see everything over here, and it's all the time keep updating. Now over here, you can see all of the stats as well. You can see the daily average followers in the last 3 days, 7 days, 14, 30 days, although you also have it over here, so no need. And you can also see how many actions you did every day. Okay, so for example, on the 14th of June, I did only 2 follow, 12 unfollow, almost 500 like actions, and almost 300 like story, which is nice. So you can see every day the stats is updating every day. You don't need to change, you don't need to play, and it's really, really, really good. I like that. Okay. Notes, you can add some notes if you want. History, you can see some history of all the stuff of the changed over here. And that's it. This is the tool. Super, I think it's very easy, very straightforward. Like, it's not complicated, because again, all of the complicated stuff of to connect the account to the phone, run it on the phone, make sure every day it's doing the actions, it's on their side, which is super cool. Okay, so this is why I think that it's the best tool for 2024. You can see very stable, very easy, nothing to worry about. I like that. So this is about the dashboard. From your side, of course, you need to add targets, as I just showed you, or in the form. You need to monitor the results. So if you get shitty results, I mean, if you see, for example, that you do enough actions, you're doing every day really good amount of actions, like hundreds of actions a day, but you don't get enough followers, so check the follow back page, you check your sources, see what's going on over there. Maybe you should change the sources, like on my case. I should change my sources. So, and then I will get much more followers. Okay, this is like for example, my problem. So it's not any tech problem or like something like that. It's only with the sources I have. And of course, as I mentioned, you can also use your own proxy. Don't be scared if you don't want if you don't want the connection from Israel and you prefer it to be from the States, from New York, from Germany, Europe, London, France, no matter where. All good, just add your own proxy in the right format. Of course, make sure your proxy is stable and unlimited. Don't put proxy with like 10 gigabytes, it's not enough, okay? We need a lot of data over here. We need a lot of like data to run all of this type of actions. So remember, it's on real phone, it's not API, okay? So this is why you need an unlimited proxy. Okay, let's speak about the pricing. I'm sure you're asking you about that. So if you have only one account, something like that, like 1-2 account, price start with $45 per month without a proxy, or if you want to use SIM card connection, it's okay. You do have a discount code called ADI, and it will give you at least 10% off. Why do I say at least? Because if you have, let's say, 10 accounts or more, you will get a bulk price. Okay, then the pricing will goes down. Depends how many accounts you have. It's part of the things you need to close. It's part of like what Coin will say to you. But of course, as much as you have more account, you have a better price. And this is about it. If you have hundreds of accounts, you can maybe you will also pay for the setup fee of the account of the phones themselves. But yeah, pretty much this is like the pricing. I know maybe for some of you it sounds like, hey, it's not that cheap. I used to pay $10 or something, and like I know these comments. I know they will arrive in like 1, 2, 3. So, guys, you're paying for like a tool that it's. How can I say, like I have so much experience with so many other tools in the market, and if you're following me for years, you know that like I'm not started yesterday, and I do it for many years. This tool, it's like a premium, okay? And actually this pricing, I think it's nothing that's for the value you get. You get like a stable tool. You don't need to worry about proxies, about scrapers. You have like everything over here set up. So all of the tech part, which is always a headache, let's be honest, adding scrapers, buying scrapers, adding proxies to the scrapers, couldn't add the scrapers, disconnected, the account all the time disconnected for the system, and all of the issues that I'm sure that many of you are already familiar with. Here, you don't have that. Of course, as you can see, you can sometimes have some blocks, sometimes have some issues, very rarely, but you can have, but that's it. This is the only thing that you can expect. So this is why I think this is worth it. And of course, if you have an agency, I don't know, like you have like 50 or 100 accounts, you can talk with him. I always recommend to start slowly, test it out, see how it goes, and increase it as much as you're happy. So this is about the part of the pricing. Now let's speak about the most important part, if you're asking me, and it's about choosing the right sources. Okay, this is super, super, super important, because if you don't choose the right sources, all of this doesn't worth anything. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so first you can ask your client. Let's say you have a client account. I don't know, he has like art gallery in New York. You can ask him, who are your competitors? Who are like the account you think like your audience is most likely following? And you can get this list for him. It's totally fine to ask him. Okay, I'm sure he knows better than you. So this is one thing. Secondly, it's to actually check the accounts he's sending you. Okay, to check the engagement rate, to see how often they post, if they bought some fake followers and stuff like that. Okay, you have a few tools I actually add over here. One of them is Palnex, maybe you know that, and the other one is Hyper Editor, and they can actually tell you like the engagement rate of the account. Now keep in mind that it's not always 100%, and some people even like, you know, buying comments, buying followers, so it's not always easy to understand that. Okay, like for example this account, so you can even see this stuff from like briefly looking on the engagement. So she has 45k followers and she has 27, 13, 10 likes. This doesn't look like account I will use, okay, because the engagement rate is very, very, very low. She has like 45k followers, right? So you can even see it very fast like that, or you can of course use the tools I just showed over here. You have Modash as well, you have Hyper Editor. Feel free to use that. Hacks that I develop with the years. You can also check accounts, tag your clients' accounts. Okay, and then you can see like if some of the accounts tag your client, that means it could be they're like relevant for you. Or if they tagged your competitors' client accounts, if it makes sense. So you can also use this kind of like stuff. Also go global. Okay, so let's say you have like a restaurant, let's say I don't know, in New York, but could be also people who following restaurants in LA will be interested in this restaurant in New York because sometimes they're like coming. So you can definitely add them, okay? Or if you think that I don't know, you have like an e-commerce brand and you're selling worldwide, so you can target people from all around the world. It doesn't mean like only people from the same area. Point number 5, think outside the box. And here it's basically very similar to paid ads. If some of you doing paid ads, so you probably know that. Let's say I don't know, like a restaurant in France, okay? So let's say the avatar is like a young couple living in France, and they like really like this restaurant. It's like like healthy restaurant, protein stuff and stuff like that, right? So could be people who interested in this restaurant would be also interested in fitness, sport, calisthenics, gym, French movies, I don't know. Okay, so you can also add accounts which are not from exactly the same niche, but it's most likely will be interested, if you got my point. Like you're doing paid ads, so you can add many, many interests. It's not only restaurants, okay? Then you can actually get more and more and more accounts to target. Also try to find sources with 10k followers or less, okay? Why? Many people with like 50, 100, 200, like some of them you can see easily they bought some followers. Like I'm not sure how 100%, but most likely this one could be she bought some fake followers because it doesn't, like the engagement rate is so low. So I always think like 10k, 20k, these numbers are good. But of course, maybe you will find some accounts with like 50 or 60. And if they are good and you see good engagement rate, check them out. Okay, this is a good one. Use the Google search engine. So let's say if I want to get a restaurant or Instagram marketing agencies, I can actually search it in Google, as you can see over here, and I can find many, 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 many accounts which have these specific keywords. Now I did it in LA. As you can see, I want only LA agencies, but I can also do it with no LA. And I can also add an emoji. Have a look, it's funny. You need to do it like that with this formula. You need the keywords with like that. I don't know, just like we'll add this emoji. And then I add site instagram.com because I want to find these results from instagram.com. Minus in URL P, that means I don't want photos. In URL explore minus, I don't want also the explorer. Okay, have a look. Okay, probably he has this sign. Yeah. Okay, so this is very, very powerful trick because you can get exactly the audience you want. By the way, it's also a great trick to get influencers. You can also add names. So yeah, I don't want to get into this video so long and to make it complicated, but if it's interesting, check out this video over here. I will add the link in the description. So I explain about this method, how you can do it automatically. Super fun, super nice, and you can get a lot of data. So check this out. I'm sure it will give you some value. You can also follow the followers of your own followers, which is super nice. It actually worked very well. And you can also use give me data. This is an ad, but it's for my own tool, so I hope it's okay. So give me data, it's my own our scraping tool where you can actually scrape followers of verified accounts. So for example, we can actually scrape almost 100% of followers of verified account, which no other tool in the market can do. And we can also scrape people used hashtags. So OnlyFans agencies, I know you're watching that. So I can scrape people who use an OnlyFans hashtag or comment on OnlyFans hashtags or like post with OnlyFans hashtag. Okay, then I can get the usernames and I can add it to the tool. You can do also many, many cool stuff over here. I will just add a link. Feel free to DM me for any question. You can also follow the followings of target accounts, which is also super smart. You cannot do it inside the tool of Coin, but you can use, for example, give me data. And then you can get a following list, which is nice. And you can also follow the followings of the followers. I got really good follow back ratio from that. You can go to Google, okay, and like 10 best restaurants in France. Just like that, and you will get like the list of them, and then you can check their Instagram. It's also pretty good. What else you can do? You can search for the top hashtags on your niche and check which accounts are appearing with these top hashtags. You can also do it with give me data, by the way, as I just saw you, or you can just do it on Instagram manually. And you can also search in Google Maps, okay? So let's say I go to France and I will look for restaurants. I can look for more and more restaurants, like in the same area. Okay, so you can also use the power of Google Maps, and then you can check which ones have their Instagram. I don't know, like I'm at the moment in Bali. Yeah, but of course, you know, you can do it in like Paris and so on. So feel free to use all of this guide I just shared over here. Trust me, it's worth for you thousands and hundreds of thousands of new followers. I wrote it in my blood. It's from 6 years of experience, so I do know what I'm talking about. Check out these methods, and yeah. What else? Okay, why do I think it's the best tool for growing Instagram accounts in 2024? So we talked about it, there are like so many tools on the market. It's not the only one. Maybe you're using some of them now, maybe, I don't know. So I like the part, like I mentioned in the start, no need to handle and to spend time on the tech side, okay? The company is taking care for the setup, for the daily actions, okay? And you only take care for the sourcing, optimization, and client communication. I like this. No need also to worry about the scraping, which let's be honest, it can be a real hassle to like scrape the accounts, add them to the phone farm, make sure it will do the actions, blah, blah, blah. No, here it's part, the scraping is part of the service, okay? Also, it's not a must to use your own proxy. If you want, and if you're okay with the connection from Israel, it's the SIM card, so you can use the SIM cards. The people, yeah, it's all about the people. I really like this guy. I'm saying it like straightforward because I feel like he can understand us as an agency owners, and it's not all about the money. And I like people who are like that and understand the game and not only trying just like to, like to get more and more and more money. Of course, we are all here for the money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing it as a volunteer or something like that. This is also my income. But it's not all about the money. I'm not just trying to promote this tool to gain something from that. Of course, I do have affiliate with him. I will earn from this video. I will earn from this connection. But if the person I'm speaking with, we don't have the understanding and it's not on my side, I wouldn't work with him. Super stable. As you saw the numbers every day, you can see it's stable activity. Sometimes you do more actions, less action, but still it's very, very stable. Super safe. Okay, the code is like private. You're not showing the code with so many other people, so we don't have any many block. Okay. And before I finish, I want to let you know that there is also a TikTok bot available. I know that it's not so common to do automation on TikTok, but you can do between 100 to 300 follow a day, and you can get very crazy growth of 500, 1,000 new targeted followers. This is like kind of a blue ocean. Again, I know it's not very common. It's not like the holy grail, but you can also use it for TikTok. What else before we finish? First, thank you so much if you got into this 46 minutes. I hope I managed to give you value and to share with you, what I really think and what I'm really using for my own business. I wish that more people will actually share their thoughts and their tools, and we can make this community with more open communication. I would appreciate it. And yes, so you can fill out the form. You can contact me on Telegram. Feel free to use the code to get your discount as well. Feel free to test it out even with 1 or 2 accounts just to see how it goes. Numbers won't lie, okay? So they will tell you exactly how it's all going. Yes, and if you want more, because here on YouTube I can share with you what I'm doing. Of course, I cannot share everything. So I do have an options of more support and more help if you want. So I have a paid club where I can actually show with you more of this type of insights and to give you daily supports, daily updates, and many other stuff. Yeah. It's called the Instagram VIP Club. I will also add the link over here. I'm sharing with you some of the tools I'm using and even more than that. And also you get an access for our private Telegram community with many other cool stuff. It costs $199 a month, no commitment, nothing to worry about. So feel free if you want to join, DM me on Telegram so I can know you a bit more and understand your goals, and then I can let you know if you can access. Or I can also do with you one-on-one calls, also in paid. I will also add the link over here. And of course, if you want, you also have the free group on Telegram. Feel free to join also over there. Very cool. And that's it, guys. So I hope I managed to help you. I hope you like this guide. I hope you're going to test it out to see how it goes. Any questions, you can also comment below or send on the Telegram free community. And that's it. Never give up. Always look for the best. Always know there is a solution for everything we need and want. And I wish you all of the success. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, like, comment, all of the normal stuff. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.